Welcome to Live DAF, your online DAF Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's DAF, KIDDUSHIN Mem Ches. We got up to the 13th line off the top of the Amud and pretty much picking up where we left off. Rav tells us, HaMekadesh b'milva, if one decides to apply a loan, so she owes him money, he says, look, this money that you owe me is now forgiven and is going to be applied towards the Kiddushin. I'm going to Mekadesh you with that credit. It doesn't work. There's nothing tangible here. There's nothing that actually has current value that he's giving her. It's just for giving a loan. It's abstract value. It doesn't work. It's not Kinyan Kesef. Neimakatanoi, says the Gemara. But it would appear that there is a machlekes tanaim pertaining to this halacha. It's not so simple. There's a machlekes. Here comes a bryce. He's got chili bishtar. He approaches her and he says, I would like to make a kiddushin using a shtar, a document. The Gemara figures at this point, we're speaking about a shtar chayv, a loan document, which testifies to a loan that she owes him. He's now transferring the loan back to her. He's forgiving the loan and applying it towards his kiddushin with her. What happens? Machlekes. Rabbi Meir Omer, it doesn't work. Eina mukadeshes. Rabbi Lazar Omer, yeah, it works. Mukadeshes. Now, this is irrespective of if there's any value in the actual paper that he's giving her. Because, as Rashi explains, Rabbi Meir says there's no condition here because you can't be mekadesh with a milva, and that's notwithstanding the fact that the actual document that he's giving back to her has value. The focus is not on the paper value. It's the loan that's being used for Kiddushin. Lav da'ato lihiskadesh beprutas haneyor, says Rashi. Her interest is not on the actual paper, so therefore, even if it has value, it doesn't help us much. So once again, he has a loan document with respect to a loan that he lent her. He wants to transfer it to her, basically give up the loan, forgive the loan, for Kiddushin. Rabbi Meir says, nothing doing. Rabbi Lezer says, yes. The Chachamim, they hold like this. The milva itself cannot serve as kesef for Kiddushin, but the actual parchment itself can. After all, he's giving her something of value in the actual paper. So we appraise the actual paper. If it's worth a pruta, otherwise any mukadeshes. End of story. Let's analyze the brisa further. He was mekadesha with a shtar. What type of shtar? What are we talking about? Whose loan document was it? Perhaps a shtar chayv that he has against somebody else. Somebody else owes him that money, and he's transferring that loan to her. Well, that's not mekadesh b'milveh, which entails forgiving her loan. He's not forgiving her loan. He's actually giving her something of value. He's transferring money that's owed to him. He's giving that to her. She's now becoming the ba'al chayv. She has received something of actual value. So how could Rabbi Meir say it doesn't work? Rabbi Meir himself yesterday told us that this type of arrangement works for Kiddushin. Kasha de Rav Meir, we're going to have a stira, a contradiction within Rabbi Meir itself. Ella b'shtar chayv dida. Oh, it's not somebody else's loan to him. It's her loan to him that he's now giving back to her. And the machlekes revolves around mekadesh b'milva, which is now subject to machlekes. It's not a clear-cut halacha like Rav presented. That's a kasha. Amar of Nachmar Yitzchak. No, we're not speaking about a shtar chayv at all. Does it say shtar chayv in the brisa? No. We're speaking about a shtar kiddushin. You can be mekadesh an isha with either one of three things. Kesef, shtar, or bia. Shtar means taking a paper. He's got chili b'shtar zeh, he writes on it. He's using that as a means for kiddushin. but there's something missing with it. Kigan shekitcha b'shtar, but there's no edom on it. She'ein olav edom. There are no witnesses signed on that shtar. And that's the machlekes. So he took a paper, he wrote, Harayat Mukudeshasli. Did not sign edom on it. Gave her the paper. For Rabbi Meir L'tamei, Rabbi Meir follows his shita back in Maseches Gittin, who says the edom who are signed on a get or on a kiddushin are critical to the legality of the document. They implement the get in the case of a divorce, and likewise in the case of a kiddushin, they activate and legalize and formalize the shtar. No edom, no shtar, and therefore it doesn't work. Rabbi Lezer says it works. It's because he holds the Amar Edom Mesir Karti. He holds that you don't need edom on the actual get or kiddushin. The Edom Mesir are the ones that Karti, that make the get, the ones that are watching him hand it over to her. As long as you have that, it works. Rabbanan, well, they're not sure. Misapkul, they're not sure whether it's Rav Meir or Rabbi Lezer, Ikar Rav Meir, Rabbi Lezer, not sure which way to go. And therefore they say, look, we can't say it's not a kiddushin when there is no edom on the shtar. We're not sure. But one thing's for sure. Hilkach, Shaman Asanayar will evaluate, will appraise the actual value of the paper. If it's worth a pruta mukadesh, and love, otherwise, Eina Mukadeshes, and Rashi actually switches the girsa. You can't say Eina Mukadesh because we just said Rabbanan, I'm not sure. Maybe you don't even need the Eidi Chasima. So it will be a suffix. So we're not speaking about a shtar chayv or a mulva. We're speaking about an incomplete shtar kiddushin. Another pshat could be that it's a shtar kiddushin, but it's deficient on account of another problem. He wrote the shtar kiddushin, but it wasn't done with the right intention. It wasn't done lishma, for her sake. So he found, a spare shtar, and is deciding to use it for a kiddushin. Is lishma critical by shtar kiddushin like it is by get or not? That's the machlekes. Ubed Reish Lakish kamiflagi, and it revolves around Reish Lakish's halacha. By Reish Lakish, she had a question back in beginning of Al Masechta. Shtar irisin, shtar kiddushin, shekas Reish lishma, that was not written with her in mind. Now, what is its status? Havaya liyitzia makshina, do we connect marriage to divorce? Because the pasuk, right? It says v'yatzav v'haisa. We put them both on the same plane. Ma yitzia beinin lishma, just like the get on her way out requires lishma, af havaya nami beinin lishma, likewise the shtar kiddushin. Or havaya is lahadadi makshina. We connect and equate the various forms of kiddushin to each other. So rather than connect shtar kiddushin to get, we connect it to another form of kiddushin, which is kesef. As follows: Ma havaya the kesef, just like the coin used for kiddushin does not need to be minted for her sake. Lebeinin lishma, af havaya the shtar, lebeinin lishma. Likewise, her document need not be done lishma. So that's the question now. Bryce, again, unrelated to milva. It's a plain shtar kiddushin, but it's missing the lishma. So, in any case, that's Rish Lakish's question. Barsa the Baya had a pashta. After Rish Lakish posed it as a question, he responded and concluded, v'yatzav v'haisa, we connect the two things. Makash havaya liyitzia, we connect marriage to divorce, and lishma is required. So back to our brisa, we have a machlekes. Tanoi, mar is like the Rish Lakish, one sheet holds like Rish Lakish, lishma is critical, or mar less like the Rish Lakish, the other one disagrees, does not need lishma. Another pshat can be the kuli alma islo the Rish Lakish, all follow Rish Lakish. Lishma is critical, but there is another deficiency, another possible defect in the shtar kiddushin, which is subject to the machlekes in the brayz. Was speaking shekasve lishma. He wrote it for her sake, but there was an ingredient missing. V'shalei midata was without her knowledge. So he had her in mind, but he hadn't informed her prior to sitting down and writing the shtar. Is that a requirement or not? That's the machlekes. Ubeplukta the Rav Ravina, and the machlekes Tanaim revolves around a similar machlekes we had between Rav and Ravina and Rav Papa, Rav Shravya Kamifli. That's the machlekes. Ditma, as we learned back in the Tes again. regarding a shtar kiddushin kosver lishma. He wrote it for her sake, but v'shalei medaita without informing her of its writing. So we have a machlekes between Amoraim. Rabbi Ravina Amri, they hold Mikudash, it works. Rav Papa, Rav Shravi Amri, ain't Mikudash, it doesn't work. And again, that's the point of the machlekes in our brayso. Again, unrelated to shtar milva, unrelated to mekadesh b'milva, and therefore we answered our question. But Neima Kani Tanai, perhaps the halacha of mekadesh b'milva is subject to another machlekes tanaim in the following brayso. The Sanya. We have a brayso like this. She turns to him. He's an expert jeweler. She gives him some raw material. Here, take this gold. Aseli shirayim. Make me some, bracelets. Nizamim. Earrings, nose rings, v'tabois, regular rings. V'akadesh anilach. And, in exchange, I'll be mekudesh to you. Okay, so provide the service. That's going to be the kiddushin. Kiven she'asan mekudesh. Once he completes the task, she's mekudesh to him. Divir Rab Meir Shomer Shita. V'chachamim Aimrim. No, no mekudeshes. There's no kiddushin happening at this early point. Ad shiagia maman liyad, until the moment the actual jewelry is delivered to her. So again, he performed the task. He made the jewelry. Rabbi Meir says as soon as he's done, even before delivering it, she's mekudeshes. He did his part. She got her service. She's mekudeshes. Chacham disagree. Until she takes delivery of the actual item, only then is it a kiddushin. Let's analyze the brayso further. Hay mamoin, hey chadami. When we say she has to take delivery of the mamoin, which mamoin are we speaking? Which money? What are you talking about? Ilema oisay mamoin. Are we speaking about that mamoin, that material that she gave him? Meaning the actual, jewelry, the ring, the bracelet. And according to Chachamim, it must be delivered to her before Kiddushin happens. Mechlal da Tanakama Savar, Afilu Oisai Mamoin Namiloi. So, apparently Tanakama holds that she's mekudesh even prior to taking delivery of those items. How could that be? El b'mai, they take out the word boy. El b'mai, boy, or not boy. El b'mai mekacha. So what's going to trigger the kiddushin? What'd she get for the kiddushin if she's not getting back her jewelry? El alav b'mamin acher. Oh, so apparently we're speaking that obviously the jeweler delivered the jewelry back to her rishos. She got it back, and therefore Tanakama says it works because she got her value. Whereas Rabbanan disagree. They say no, that's not enough. By getting back her jewelry, she's not mekudesh. In a minute we'll explain why. The Chacham say Eina mekudeshes. At shiagia mamain, meaning until he gives her other monies, additional monies for kiddushin, because the jewelry that she gets back is not kiddushin. At shiagia maman the other means other monies. Okay, so continues the Gemara. Elalav b'maman acher. The Chachamim require other money for kiddushin, and the question is, why? Ushma mina, and apparently, b'mekadesh b'milva kamiflagi. The machlekes here revolves around that question of mekadesh b'milva. How is that relevant to our discussion? There was no loan. There was no what's going on. Here comes the pshat. V'savri. Now all agree. There's a general question. When you do a job, you make a piece of jewelry. It takes you a week. At what point does he start earning his wages? Is it moment by moment? So every second he sort of earned a bit, and that money is owed to him. It's like a milva. It's owed to him, which of course he gets all the way at the end when he completes its task. But it was owed to him all along, incrementally, as he proceeds with his job. Or shall we say, no, when you complete your task 100%, when you're fully done, then you deserve your wages. So, as soon as you deliver the item, then you're meant to get your pay. There's no money owing to you until that moment. There's no milva to talk about. Until that point, he wasn't owed a penny. You didn't finish your job. As soon as he's done and delivers the item, that's when he deserves pay. So there was no moment in time where money was owed to him and was as yet not paid. Okay? So both Shittas, Rameh and the Rabbanan will hold, Vesarvi, Dekuli Alma, Yeshna. So the Bnei Yeshiva figure, Dekuli Alma Yeshna Leschirus Mitchil Vatsoif. Both Rameir and Rabbanan agree that Schirus starts when you start your task, when you begin your mission. When he begins designing that jewelry. Every bit of his work earns him, a penny. Now, of course, he'll only get paid when he finishes his job. But ultimately, it was owed to him all along. It's a continuous process of ongoing earning that schirus. V'hava milva. So now when he returns the item, when he gives her jewelry, when he delivers the tachshitin, the wages are already owed to him previously. It's sort of a loan. It's owed to him. So when he forgoes that pay, when he gives up those wages, what is he basically doing? He's forgiving a loan. Money which was owed to him is now being forgiven by him back to her. That's a milva. It's a makadesh b'milva. So, and that's the point of machlekes. Apparently, that's the machlekes in the Bryce. Maila b'kamifli. So apparently, they're arguing about this very point. Can you be makadesh with money owed, with milva or not? The Mar Savar HaMakadesh b'milva mekudeshes. The Tanakama Rameir says, yeah, sure. Give her back the jewelry, and the money owed to you is now going to be applied for the kiddushin. Even though it's a milva, it works. Well, Mar Savar, Rabbanan disagree. No, you can't use this for kiddushin. It's a milva. The only way is to use other money as well. Give her other money. Umar Savar Makadesh b'milva ein mekadesh. So we see that this is machlekes Tanoi. No, the Kuli Alma Makadesh b'milva ein mekadesh. Perhaps everybody agrees with Rav. Cannot use milva for kiddushin. So what's the machlekes about? It revolves around that very point that we discussed a minute ago. How to analyze the wage earning process. The question is whether or not there is even a milva to talk about. Is it a continuous earning process? Or do wages only kick in at the very end? That's the machlekes. Mar Savar Eino L'Schirus El Basayf. Rameir holds, you know when he earns his pay? When he's done, when he delivers it to her. And he gave it to her for the sake of Kiddushin, giving up his wages right then and there. So that's a Kiddushin. Look, I'm giving it to you, I'm giving up the wage. That's a Kiddushin. That's an Asinas Kiddushin right then and there. There's no milva. Well, Mar Savar Yeshna L'Schirus B'Tchil V'Atzayf. Chacham say, he already earned it all along. It was money owed to him. Makadesh b'milva doesn't work. Another pshat. Everybody holds it's a continuous process. It's money owed to him. It's a milva. Makadesh b'milva does not work. Any makadesh. So what's the machlekes? How can Rameir say that by returning the item he has kiddushin? Isn't it a milva? It goes much further than that. It's not just wages. It's not just money owed. Machlekes here is bu'uman, a craftsman who takes raw material and transforms it, converts it into an item, into a functional entity. He improves on it. Does he own that improvement until he gets paid for it? Is it his or not? The actual material, not. But the improvement, the betterment, does that belong to the Uman or not? And if it does, so basically when he's returning the jewelry in a improved state, right? He just took gold and turned it into jewelry. That improvement really belongs to him. And by giving it to her, he's giving her Kiddushin. Or do we say, no, he doesn't own it. He's owed money for it. He has to get paid for it. It's not really his, so he's not giving her a Kiddushin. That's the machlekes. Is he kaina b'shvach kli, the improvement in the kli. Kamiflagi, that's what the machlekes is about. Mar Savar, Ramir says, yep, uman kaina b'shvach kli. Mar Savar, Rabbanan say, no, ein uman kaina b'shvach kli. But you say well, another pshat can be. All agree he doesn't own that extra. The kuli alma ein uman kaina b'shvach kli. So that's out. And also, the other problems exist. Wages are earned continuously, so it's a milva. It doesn't work. How could it work? My skin was speaking. What happened was, he actually added some raw material as well. According to Taisus Riazakin, is a nice, expensive stone. So he added his own, contribution in terms of raw material. He's actually giving her something. So the material is hers. The improvement is hers. The money is just owed to him. It's milva. But the actual stone that he added, that was his gift to her. That perhaps can be used for Kiddushin. So although the actual wages are just milva, but there is a pruta here that he's adding. So what's the machlekes about? The Mar Savar, when we have a combined milva pruta for giving of a loan, which is now being combined with an actual gift, what's her focus on? What's the focal point? The forgiving of the loan, which is relieving her of this obligation, which is a breath of fresh air, which she's looking forward to. That's the focal point? Or should we say no? That's meaningless in terms of Kiddushin. The focus is on the thing that he's giving her. The focus is on the Makadosh is focusing on the pruta, her or him, whatever it is, the focal point is the pruta, so it works. Umar Savar. Chacham say no. Daite amulva, the focus is on the mulva, and therefore you can't, you don't reckon with the pruta, it's just a side point. The main thing is she's getting her loan forgiven, that's the focal point, and therefore there's no Kiddushin. And actually, we found another machlekes tanaim revolving around this very question. When we have a milva and a pruta in tandem, what's the focus on? The Sanya, we have a brayse with 3 shitas. So this craftsman just did a job for her, and he says, "Look, b'schar shasisi imach. I forgive, the wages that you owe me, and let that be for Kiddushin. Ain't no Kiddush, it doesn't work. Because that money was already owed to him. That's like a milva. What about b'schar she'eseimach? I'm about to do a job for you. Let's take that schar and apply it for Kiddushin. Mekudesh as it works. Rashi explains, because the Tanna Kama will hold, schirus eino mishtalemes elal b'soif. Wages only prop up at the end. It's not a continuous earning process. When I'm done, I deserve pay, and at that point, when he gives it back to her without asking for pay, he's giving her something. He's giving her something of value without asking anything in return. So that's called a proper Kiddushin. So again, past pay, that's a milva, it doesn't work. But future pay, and ultimately when he delivers her the completed item, he forgives his pay, that's called giving her something of value, that's Mekudesh. Rabbi Nassan Omer, B'schar she'esimach eino mekudesh. He disagrees. Even future pay doesn't work. Because he holds, like before, we said before, that it's a continuous earning process, and as he's working and doing his job, he's owed constantly more and more money. And that's money owed to him. That's a milva. You can't be mekadosh b'milva. The kloshken is certainly, if it's past pay, already owed to him for a job already done. That's certainly a milva. B'schar she'esimach. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi Aimer, he says like this: Be'emes amru. The accepted halacha is as follows: Bein b'schar shasisi imach, whether it's past pay owed to him, bein b'schar she'esi imach, whether future pay that he expects, eina mukadeshes, it will not work for kiddushin. So basically, he holds like Rabbi Nassan, whether it's past, whether it's future, it doesn't work. But if he added another element, he added another element to the job, he contributed his own material, mikudeshes, then it works. So the milva aspect doesn't work, but the extra pruta that he added works. So we have three shitas, and let's try to just analyze the differences between the shitas and set them apart. We had Tanakama, we had Rabbi Nassan, and Rabbi Nassan. It's like this: Tanakama and Rabbi Nassan. What's the difference between Tanakama and Rabbi Nassan? Schirus. How to understand the concept of schirus, of wage earning, etc., like we explained before. What's the difference between Rabbi Nassan and Rabbi Nassi? The question that we just finished discussing, milva pruta. When you have a milva aspect in tandem with a real pruta that he's contributing, does it work or not? Mar savar milva pruta da'ite al milva. Rabbi Nassan says even in that case it won't work because the focus is on the milva. Mar savar da'ite al pruta. Rabbi Nassan disagrees. You can use the pruta independent of the milva and therefore it works. So bottom line, Rav tells us mekadesh milva and mekadeshes. We had one kasha from our brisa which discussed machlekes regarding kiddushin with a shtar. We thought it was a shtar chayiv, but then we say no, it's talking about a shtar kiddushin. And there's a question regarding lishma or ledaita or the edim, unrelated to milva. We brought another brisa, which again seemed to be revolving around the question of mekadesh b'milva, and we learned the brisa in a way which made it unrelated to that question. And then we concluded with another shaila of milva pruta, does it work or not? Continues the Mishnah. Here's a glass of wine for kiddushin. V'nimtza shel dvash, it turns out to be honey. Shel dvash, here's honey. V'nimtza shel yain, turns out to be wine. V'dina shel kesef, v'nimtza shel zav, here's a silver coin, turns out to be gold. Shel zav, v'nimtza shel kesef, here it's gold, turns out to be silver. Another example, I'm not shani yasher. You're mekudesh to me on condition that I'm a wealthy man, turns out to be a poor man. V'nimtza ani. Or, he says I'm an ani. V'nimtza asher. Eina mekudesh. It all depends. If he fooled her to her detriment, yeah, it doesn't work. But if he upgraded it, if imhita l'shvach, if he fooled her in a positive way, so he undervalued himself, and it turns out that it's more than she expected, mekudeshes. In that case, why doesn't it work? She's more than happy to get more than she asked for. So according to Tanakama, any deviation derails the kiddushin. According to Rav Shimon, it depends if it's a downgrade or an upgrade. Tana Rabban, we have a brisa like this. He's gachali because be mekudesh to me with this glass. Tani chada, one brisa says, what is incorporated in the kiddushin? Is it the actual glass, the cup, the container, or the content within it? What has to be worth a pruta? Tani chada, one brisa says, boy uba masha b'soichai. You can combine in terms of the value, container and content. V'tani idach, brisa number 2 says, no, boy v'loy b'masha b'soichai. Container, but not content. Content doesn't count. V'tani idach, in the third brisa we say just the opposite. B'masha b'soichai v'loy boy. It's all about content, not about container. Like kasha, it's not even a kasha. It all depends on circumstance. Haba maya. Brisa number 1, which focused on container, was speaking about a container full of water, which is not chashav, and she wasn't really focusing on the water. That wasn't meant for the kiddushin. It was the container that intrigued her. So that has to be worth a prut. Haba chamra. Brisa number 3, which focuses on content, is speaking about a glass full of wine, which is a chashav thing, and that's all that counts. The actual container, you give it back to the person. That's not something you necessarily have to keep. It's not the focal point. Ha-B'tziara, Brisa number 2, which combined the container with content, is speaking about a container full of fish juice, which is meant for dipping purposes, meant to last a while, and stay in its container. It's part of its function. So it basically goes together. You can combine the value of container with content. So according to Tanakama, any sort of deviation, he promised her gold, it turned out to be silver, doesn't work. According to Reb Shimon, it depends if she got the better end of her deal. Im hita l'shvach harizim kadeshes. How could that work? He promised her A and he gave her B. Who cares if it's better or worse? She wanted A, not B, right? But lastly, Reb Shimon, does Reb Shimon not hold of the Mishnah and Mesechus Bava Basra? I sold you wine, yain. You open the barrel, it's vinegar. Or I promised you vinegar, chaymitz, something of lesser value, and discovered it to be wine. V'nimtza yain. They can both turn around and cancel the deal. Even though he got better than he bargained for. Why? I need vinegar today, I don't need wine. Alma ika denichale b'chala. Apparently some people prefer vinegar. V'ika denichale b'chamra. Another person wants wine. So it's a matter of preference. It's a matter of what I asked for. I ordered this, not that. Achanami here as well. Ika denichale b'kaspa. Denichale b'dahava. Maybe this woman, for some reason, wanted silver today to match another piece of jewelry. She wanted silver, not gold. Well, denichale b'dahava. So how could Reb Shimon say if she got better than expected, it's good? Amar Avsimi Barashi. Ashkachti la'Abaye. So I encountered Abaye. The Yosef, he was sitting and he was learning this halacha with his son. The Kamaz B'lei Lebrain explained to him as follows. Hacha my Skinner was speaking in the following case. Kigoyin she'amar l'shluchai. It wasn't directly with the Isha. Ruvain turned to his friend Shimon and he says like this: Halveini dina shel kesef. Please, could you lend me a silver coin? V'leich v'kadesh li'isha plainis. Take that coin and be mekadesh Rachel. V'halach, and Shimon went, beyond the call of duty. He was extra generous and lent him a gold coin, figuring Reuven would certainly appreciate. He went all out and provided his kala with a nice gold coin. V'hilva shel zahav. That's the point of the Mishnah. It's not like anybody misled the Isha. She saw what she was getting. She was getting gold. So what's the shaila? Mar savar kpeda. Tanakama says, look, Reuben asked Shimon for silver, not gold. He particularly wanted silver, not gold. Umar savar mar makim ulay. Reb Shimon says, look, you don't want to burden him with gold. So he told him, please lend me some silver. But of course, he would have been more than happy with the gold. So, of course, it can work. Asks the Gemara, is that the case? That Reuben was speaking to a shliach who then forwarded it to the Isha? If that's the case, we have a couple of verbal issues, semantic issues with the Mishnah. Mishnah says, Hiskachi li, be mekudesh to me with silver. It's not Hiskachi li. Hiskachi loy miboy li. It was really Shimon doing it on behalf of Reuben. The Mishnah should have said Hiskachi loy, be mekudesh to Reuben, if in fact it was being done through an intermediary. Next question. Mishnah says him hita l'shvach. If he fooled her for the better, it works. Nobody fooled her. Who fooled who? Shimon misled Reuven by spending more than requested. Hitahu l'shvach, but he misled Reuven for the better. Also, it says nimtza. It was discovered to be gold instead of silver. Mikar nami dezav hava. It was always gold. It's not like he caught her by surprise. She wasn't expecting it. He walked over with a gold coin. So basically we have three expressions, three phrases in the Mishnah which are not consistent with this pshat. So how can this be pshat in the Mishnah? Elam Rava responds like this. Let me tell you the correct pshat. Ani varisha b'chavur. It was myself with the lion in the group, the big chacham in the group. Targimno, that we explained the Mishnah. Amani, who is this big chacham? Rabbi Yehuda. Okay, this is the case in the Mishnah. My skin was speaking. No, it was her. It was actually her appointing a shliach to be mekabel her kiddushin. Say v'kabel kiddushay. Kiddushim plenty. Please go and take delivery of my Kiddushin money from Reuben. He already promised me. He already told me in advance. His Kessler. So it's sort of like a paraphrase. Go to Reuben, who already told me, quote, he told me directly, quote, he's Kachli Mikudish to me with a silver coin. So now the semantics work. She was just relaying to her shliach what Reuben told her directly. So the shliach went back to Reuben. Instead of getting silver, he gets gold. Right? So now, when this fellow delivers the gold coin to the Isha, she's surprising him. Hita l'shvach. Right? He's sort of misleading her. She was expecting one thing, as promised. She got something else. And the Machlekes says, Mar Savar Kpeda. Tanakama says, well, if she asked for silver, she expected silver, as promised. Right? Otherwise, it doesn't work. Omar Savar Maramakim Iloi. Rosh Hashanah says, no. She was just relating to her shliach what she expects from Reuben as per his promise to her. But of course, she's more than happy to get gold. And that's the case of the Mishnah. Now we had one more diuk which we hadn't really addressed. Nimtza. What does nimtza mean? It was discovered to be gold. What do you mean it was discovered? He gave it to her and she saw it was gold. Umay nimtza, the katsir bebelisa. What happened was, it was wrapped in a material. Right. The question was, it's not a surprise to the shliach, right? The fellow gave the shliach gold. He saw it was gold as he was taking it. No surprise there. The answer is the kotzay b'blisa was wrapped in some sort of baguette, and when the shliach got it from the Mekadosh, he didn't realize that it was gold because he's thinking silver. Only later, when they gave it over to the Isha, they opened it up and they discovered it to be gold. That's the surprise that the Mishnah describes. Okay. So bottom line is, we have a Tanakama who says any sort of deviation, any sort of surprise doesn't work. Shimon says if it was an upgrade it works. And the question was, how could that be? She asks for one thing and you give her something else. It's like the yain and the chaymitz. It's not what I bargained for. And the answer is like this. According to Rav's pshat, when she mentioned that she's getting silver, it wasn't like she was insisting on silver. She was just relating to her shliach what to expect, what was promised to her by the Mekadosh. But of course, she's more than happy to get the gold. Whereas Tanakama says no. She said silver. That's what she wants. Otherwise, it's not a kiddushin. So that's the culmination of this sugya, to be continued by the Shem tomorrow. And of course, the whole beginning of the block described the din of Rav and the various prices which we thought dealt with the shaila of milva, but ultimately we concluded that mekadesh b'milva and mekadeshes, and the prices are all involving other variations of related halachas, but not mekadesh b'milva, which of course is eina mekadeshes. All the best to you and atzlacha Rav.